All right, so if you're an insurance agency owner and your recruiting still feels inconsistent, the problem is that you don't have a real recruiting system. You see, most agencies are still trying to grow through job posts, cold DMs, referrals, and organic content. That creates activity, but it usually does not create predictability. You stay busy, you still get weak applicants, no-shows, and people who sound interested but never really turn into serious reps. And one of the biggest traps is relying too heavily on organic content. Yes, organic content can work, but if your recruiting depends on posting every day just to stay visible, then that is not leverage. That is just another job you created for yourself. You are trading time every day just to maintain attention. And paid traffic costs more upfront, but organically costs more in time. It takes longer to test, longer to get feedback, and longer to find out what message actually works. Meanwhile, you are still trying to lead the team, improve production, train agents, and grow the business. And this is the hidden price of a broken recruiting process. Hours wasted per week, stalled growth, and leadership drain. That is why this is not an activity problem, it's a system problem. But now there is a better way to recruit. If you want better reps consistently, you need a recruiting system that attracts the right people, filters out the wrong people, and improves over time. And with the proof-driven system, you get an automated funnel that's running 24/7, paid traffic, bringing qualified leads, pre-qualified applicants, predictable measurable results, 15 to 25 serious reps in 90 days, a system that improves over time and works while you focus on leadership. So now this is what we build. We help insurance agencies install a proof-driven recruiting system built specifically for insurance. We build the messaging, the recruiting content, the opportunity VSL, the landing page, the qualification flow, the booking system, the ad campaigns, and the optimization process behind it. What makes this different is that we're not just trying to get attention. We build belief before the call. Most recruiting solutions focus on clicks, views, or applications. We focus on making the right person understand the opportunity, trust the leadership, see the culture, and come into the process with more intent before they ever book. Instead of attracting random curiosity, you attract people who are more likely to fit the recruit profile, pass the qualification process, and match the culture you are building. Because if the message is sharp, credible, and backed by proof, paid traffic helps you get signal faster, optimize faster, and recruit faster. And of course, this is not for everyone. If you are brand new and do not want to lead, do not want to participate, do not want to show up on camera, or think that a few videos will magically fix the weak follow-up or the weak leadership, this is not for you. This works best for insurance agencies doing around $30,000 to $60,000 a month or more that are serious about growth and willing to build a real recruiting system. You do not need a big team. You do not need a polished proof or culture assets already built out, because we help you create that. But you do need a real opportunity, a willingness to execute, and a discipline to move fast when leads are coming in. That is why we start by defining the custom avatar for your agency. We get clear on who you actually want, what they care about, what kind of opportunity would move them, and what messaging will pull them in. And then we build a system around that. The content, the ads, the qualification, the VSL, the page, the booking flow, and the follow-up structure. Now, to be clear, this is not a fully passive service where you do nothing. You need to be the face of the recruiting message. Leadership credibility matters, but that does not mean that you need to become a full-time content creator. You can film yourself or hire us to help you with production. Either way, we help to build a strategy, scripting, editing, funnel, ads, and optimization around you. In most cases, that means one production day per month, usually around 3 to 6 hours depending on your growth goals, plus weekly approvals so that the system keeps moving. We also help you hire and train a social media VA and an appointment setter if needed, so that you're not stuck posting every day or manually booking recruiting interviews yourself. The goal is to build a recruiting machine that does not depend on you on doing every part manually forever. Now, you might be wondering, why not just hire a content creator or use a recruiting agency? Here's the difference. Most content creators will make videos for you, but they do not build the strategy or systems. You get content, but no real recruiting infrastructure. Recruiting agencies will hire reps for you, but you don't own the system. You're depending on them. The moment you stop paying, the recruiting stops, and you're not building any brand equity long-term assets. Our approach is different. We help you build and own the recruiting system. We establish the brand, create the proof-driven content, and install the infrastructure so you attract people who already bought into your vision before they ever get on a call with you. And you might also be thinking, why not just hire from ZipRecruiter or Indeed? Here's what the data shows. Job boards are great at generating volume. In fact, they bring in 61% of applicants, but they only convert 43% of actual hires. Meanwhile, company career pages and direct recruiting brings in 13% of applicants, but convert 27% of hires. That's 4 times better. And there's a bigger problem. 70% of workforce is passive talent. They're not actively job searching, which means that job boards only compete for the same active 30%. But when you build a strong employer brand with proof-driven content, that data shows you get 50% more qualified applicants and you hire 2 times faster, and your cost per hire drops by 50%. Plus, candidates who come through warm channels like your content, your brand, your funnel stay longer. 46% are still there after 1 year versus only 22% of job boards. So job boards optimize for volume, we optimize for speed, quality, and retention. And if you're thinking, we tried ads before, they didn't work, that's common. But in most cases, ads were not the real problem. Usually the problem was weak positioning, generic messaging, no real proof, a weak funnel, poor qualification, slow follow-up, or a message that sounded like every other agency saying the same thing. Paid traffic only amplifies what is already there. So if the foundation is weak, you scale weak results. If the foundation is strong, you create a much more predictable recruiting process. Once it launches, we start getting real data. We can see what hooks get attention, what messages get responses, what ads bring better candidates, where people drop off, what improves the call quality, who books, who shows, and who is actually worth your team's time. Then we improve the system from there. That is why this is scalable. It is not dependent on whether you post every day. It is not dependent on manual outreach. It is not dependent on hoping your content gets reach. It becomes a system that can be measured, improved, and scaled. And the first phase is built for speed. First, we define the recruit avatar, sharpen the message, and position the opportunity correctly. Then we build out the key assets. If you move fast on approvals and production, we can be ready to launch in as little as 14 days. From there, the target is to help recruit 15 to 25 reps in the first 90 days while installing the system that keeps producing after launch. And we've already seen what happens when agencies stop treating recruiting like random activity and start treating it like a real system. Jonah had around 30 agents before working with us, and over the next 12 to 18 months, he grew to more than 200 writing agents and over $1 million a month in revenue. Chris and Malad were doing around $500,000 a month and had no real social media presence. Within 6 to 12 months, they were over $1 million a month in revenue and had a stronger presence that helped them attract higher quality reps. Kobe and Isaac had no predictable way to recruit. They were relying on outreach and rep quality was poor. After launching the proof-driven funnel, they recruited 12 reps in the first 30 days. That is what happens when recruiting stops being random and starts becoming systematic. So now this is your revenue potential. In most cases, we recommend around $1,000 to $2,000 a month in ad spend to give the campaign enough fuel to generate the data and the momentum needed to get the outcome. So now, according to IMOs, each rep averages $10,000 per year in overrides. So now if you work with us for 4 months and we average around 8 reps per month, that is 32 reps in 4 months. That equals $320K every year after that. If you work with us for 8 months, that includes a couple more ad campaigns, retargeting, and at this time we probably refined and perfected the structure so much better. So we're averaging a couple more reps, assuming that you're still using the same ad spend. If we get 80 reps in 10 months, that equals $800K every year after that. And in 12 months, you get the full system, campaigns, retargeting, and sequences. With this, we can expect around 144 new reps in 12 months. That is 1.4 million in overrides every year. And yes, there is a risk reversal built into this. If you follow the system, move fast on approvals, commit to the recommended ad spend, and do your part on execution, we will keep working for free until you get results. Ad spend is separate. So if you're tired of weak applicants, inconsistent recruiting, daily posting, and a process that depends too much on your own time, this is the next conversation to have, because every month you wait is another month of weak applicants, wasted interviews, lost momentum, and more room for competitors to keep growing while you stay stuck in manual mode. So if you're an insurance agency owner doing at least around $30,000 to $60,000 a month, and you want a more predictable way to recruit serious reps, book a strategy call. We will look at your current recruiting process, show you where it's breaking down, and map out what the proof-driven recruiting system will look like for your business. And if it is a fit, we'll show you the next steps to build it fast. Book the strategy call.